Which cards are calling you today for your reading for this week? We've got cards 1, cards 2, cards 3. Hello and welcome. I'm Belle from Autumn Crone and welcome to our weekly forecast reading. So this is for the start of Monday, the 7th of August 23. The year just keeps flying. I probably say that every week, but that's because it is. It gets quicker and quicker. So a huge welcome. So the cards will be in chapters. There'll be, if you're on YouTube, you can go into the description and go to, say, if you've chosen cards 3, you don't have to listen to all of the other ones if you don't wish to. If you do, that's perfectly okay, but you can just click on cards 3 and it'll take you straight to that card. You know, you can choose one set of cards, or you can say pick 2 or 3, whatever your intuition is saying to you, always go with that. We are big believers in always follow your intuition. You know you better than you, and you know you better than anybody else, actually. So, you know, always follow your intuition and your own guidance first. So I'm going to go through and discuss the cards and how to do it. I'm not going to look at these cards because I like to look at them, flip them over, and you can see my reaction or anything like that, because, you know, even shuffling them, I normally can start picking up on the energies and what's going on. And yeah, when I flip them over, and sometimes I get a rush or like just a of information and stuff comes down really quickly, so I like to capture that as well. So anyway, so in these cards there's 3 sets. I love the Triple Goddess, the Maiden, Mother and Crone, so, you know, and the Power of 3. That has a lot of sentimental value, and for me and Dave and our beliefs. So, but we have 4 cards, so there you go. So the first card is they're the main card decks that I work with. You'll see them when I do live readings, or when I post cards, or, you know, there's reels or anything. These are the main ones I use. So that's just whatever the message is, the message that comes through and what we're going to be talking about. These cards, I love these. These are Heal Yourself by Inanna, I think that's how you say her name, Segal. These ones I love as shadow work cards. No other cards are called to me like this, but these are my shadow work cards. So what this is for me is everybody has a shadow side. It's a side we like to hide from others, the parts that we don't want to show, but even the parts that we hide from ourselves. So a lot of, you know, stuff in the unconscious and all that sort of stuff, but our memory, our brain, our mind is amazing, and it remembers everything, and it's all mainly stored in the unconscious, so unconscious things play out. So I love doing shadow work to be able to get to the cause, to really make long-term permanent shifts, you know what I mean, really get to the cause of it, not just band-aid stuff. But so that's my shadow card. That gives me what's going on underneath. And the chakra card, so our energy centers. So these are the main 7 ones here. And hang on a minute, this one's the Earth Star, so this one goes just sort of below our feet. And this is, I think this is the soul chakra. I'm having a bit of a perimenopause brain fart, which happens often these days, but which is sort of like above your crown chakra and that. So there's 7, 8, 9 chakras in that. So I like to use these cards as a way of with the stuff that's come through with the first cards, you know, especially the shadow card, how can we work with this, and what's a good chakra to work through and all that. So normally I'll get some messages or things come through on some things to suggest or ideas to help you as well, because it's one thing to have all this stuff come up in a reading and get all this information, but I like when women come to me, I like them to, when they go, walk away with, oh yeah, well this is something that could possibly happen, and you always have the power to change it. But having some tools or tips on ways to move forward, because sometimes we just don't know. So, you know, I always like to put them in, and you take and leave what you like. So I love the chakras. And these beautiful cards, and they're a goddess one. These have a beautiful affirmation. So this is something if you want to take a photo of, or write down the affirmation, put it up around where you are on either post-it notes or on your bathroom mirror, on the back of your toilet door. So when you see it, you can say it. Or you can put it, take a screenshot, take a photo of it and put it on your phone and use it as a screenshot, or set it as a reminder. So, all right, let's get into it. I think I've got to put them back in order. You know, that inner Virgo loves a little bit of order here and there. Aquarius doesn't, but you know, interesting times. All right, so let's get into the readings. First, if you like these readings, like them, but also too, you know, let me know, how was this, give us, how did this resonate with you? You know, which card did you pick? How did it resonate with you? And if you think these cards could give somebody some insight or guidance or help them in any way, wherever they are at their lives, please, you know, either tag them or send them this video so, you know, that they can receive this guidance and have that assistance and hopefully make their week a little bit smoother and easier and more enjoyable. All right, let's get started. Hello and welcome to Cards 1 reading. If you've jumped in, that's cool, straight into your card, but just to, so I don't have to keep going over it in each card, in the introduction part I went through, because there are 4 cards, I went through what they mean and how I work with them and all that. So if you want to do that, go there. If not, cool, let's get started. I haven't looked at them yet. So let's see what our first card is today. Oh, Medicine Woman. So very interesting. So while I was shuffling these cards, so what happens for me, each person is different and each reader is different, and it's not right or wrong, it just is. So whatever works for you. So as I was shuffling these cards, you know, and I'm putting into intention, these are the group cards 1. You know, if whoever is needing to hear this message, for whoever picked these cards, you know, what is a message that they need to hear. And interestingly enough, as I was getting just the group 1 cards out, I was feeling very sort of all over the place, all over the shop, and just a little bit scattered there. So, you know, it'd be interesting to see what these cards bring up. But, you know, maybe also to looking at some grounding work, calling back your energy, you know, just taking some moments to catch your breath. Otherwise, it's, you know, when we don't get a chance to catch our breath, we get very overwhelmed, our stress increases, and that's when, you know, mistakes, accidents happen, and it just sort of can snowball out of control. So really, and what I mean by grounding, even, yes, you may be busy, I totally get that in these times, but even if it means just ducking into the toilet for, you know, set your timer for 2 minutes or 1 minute, if that's all you've got, you know, and just focus on your breath. Deep breathing, just focus on your breath, you know. You can do it for the count of 4, you know, so, you know, breathing in for 4, hold for 4, breathe out for 4, hold for 4, and you can just repeat that cycle. Or they do say, you know, let's say if you breathe in for 4, hold for 4, say breathe out for 6 seconds. So, and then hold for 4, and then repeat that cycle again. So the breathing out longer than on the intake, they say that will help trigger the vagus nervous system, which is our rest and digest and our more relaxed state of being. So anyway, so there, a lot of grounding messages just in shuffling your cards. So Medicine Woman, so I feel like this is about getting out in nature, and again with that grounding a message as well. Like I'm feeling like, you know, getting out, and no, for those that it's for those, yes, getting out in nature is always going to help, you know, especially when there's trees and a density of trees, because the oxygen is going to be so much richer and cleaner and just a lot more nicer than, say, city areas where there is little trees, little, you know, grass and, you know, just that earthy kind of, nature and that kind of stuff. So, you know, but this is asking you, what's your medicine? So what I mean by this is, what is your medicine? What are the things, what are the ways that allow you to feel good? Or, you know, like we talk, like people, as soon as I mention it, people are going to go, ugh, because I do it too. Meditation, yes, that is a great way, but however, it is not the only way. So if you're someone that struggles with meditation, that is perfectly okay. Don't force it. But look at other ways, so to quieten your mind down, you know, so it might be cooking, it might be gardening, it might be doing some crafts, it might be looking at the moon, or going for a walk. You know, what is it? Take notice of the things that quieten your mind down and allow you to feel a bit more calm and a bit more relaxed in your body. So take notice of your body as well. How is your body feeling as well? So, you know, it can be interesting that we can think that we feel relaxed, but when we stop and tune in with our body, it can be quite tense. So, you know, this is about what is your medicine. So what allows you to feel good? What allows you to just feel that cool, calm and collectedness? What is it for you? It feels like that's a very big message this week, because without becoming aware of what allows you to feel good and feel relaxed and that cool, calm and collected, without doing that, you're going to find that overwhelm, that scatteredness is going to be really amplified this week. It's going to be really just feel like you can't catch a breath, can't catch a break and all that kind of stuff. But taking time and stop, focusing on your breaths, you know. And the reason why I say go to the toilet, you know, because if you're at work or with people or, you know, busy or got stuff going on, you can always go, I just need to go to the toilet. No one's going to really question you that much. Well, hopefully not. You know, you can just go in there and go, all right, I just need to breathe, calm. I've done it so many times because no one questions me when I go to the toilet. And just, you know, just take a couple of deep breaths. You know, sometimes I don't have a minute to spend doing that, but I do a few just to go, okay, yep, I'm noticing I'm feeling a bit tight, I'm feeling a bit tense, starting to get a bit irritable and all that sort of stuff. So by going to the toilet, having a couple of breaths and all that sort of stuff, I'm at a stage now where my kids don't come into the toilet with me now. The freaking animals do, but, you know, at least you can close the door, and the kids, you know, condition the kids generally only to come to the toilet door if there's death, dying, blood or something serious going on. So, you know, I've got them trained to do that. So, you know, I can spend some time in there. But you can keep going back, you know. You know, if things are heated or things are getting challenging and you're like, I need to just to step out. Go to the toilet. Hang on a minute, I need to go to the toilet. Okay, so that's one of my ways, my little tricks of doing that. Okay, so let's look at the shadow side of aspects. So what I'm feeling this, what's going on, what's stopping family and tribe. So what's going on? What is this busyness with the rush, go, you know, not taking time? I feel like there's some stuff, and where it's coming from, I feel like where it's come from is that the childhood with this card, that conditioning of, you know, stopping and resting or taking care of yourself or anything like that are conditioned beliefs that have, like, there were seeds that were planted when you were really little. Too little to even understand or get it. So these little seeds are sprouted. So when we want to do things that allow us to feel good and feel relaxed, because when we feel good and feel relaxed and have taken time to fill our cup, then we are of better service to everybody around us. We are better to be around because we're not as grumpy or cranky or resentful or, you know, running on empty. So when we can find ways that our medicine bag, things that allow us to feel good, right, you are going to be more able to be more present with your kids or your family or your loved one or your work or your friends or just in life and feel better, right? But what needs to happen, I feel like, sometimes that's easier said than done, right? For some of us, it's really easier said than done, because in the shadows, in that unconscious part of the brain, you know, what is it that's there for you? What were you told? So, for example, I'm getting goosebumps. If you were like, how are you with resting? You know, part of your medicine, maybe you need to take rest. You need to listen to your body. You maybe need to slow down a bit, right? But there's something that's stopping you and something that, no, you know what I mean? It's ingrained. Because what were you told when you did things for yourself or rested? You know, I know like some of the conditionings from family beliefs are that it's lazy to rest. You're lazy shit, you know, all that. You know, rest wasn't a thing. And if you wanted to do things for yourself, you selfish. How selfish. How dare you do something for yourself when others are in need and all that sort of stuff. So this is looking at really going, no, that's not right. That's not my belief. That's somebody else's belief that they've instilled in me. I love shadow work. And so, and my counselling studies that I'm doing are really helping to amplify the work I've done and really be able to work more with women on these issues and all that sort of stuff. So very excited. But anyway, so, you know, really looking at these conditions and go conditioning beliefs and go, no, they're not my beliefs. What do I believe about rest? You know, what can I do to fill my cup up? What are my medicine tools? Get a pen and paper and write down the things that allow you to feel good. So for me, I love to read or go out into our garden, or have a magnesium bath, have a tea, journal, pull some cards, you know. So, and it's really good to write these down and have them nearby. So when you aren't feeling well and you are feeling those frustrations, those, what's the word, resentments, because you know you're just running on empty and you can't catch your breath and you think you're about to stop, and then, hey mum, can you just do this, can you just do that, you know, that constant, you know, it's never going to stop kind of thing. But it's these conditioning beliefs that are stopping you. It's not your family or things going on in your life. It's these shadow beliefs and conditioning beliefs. So, you know, journal. You know, some journaling prompts are, because journaling is one of my big medicine tools and I love sharing it, and now there's a lot of scientific research to back it all up. What are my thoughts and feelings on rest? What are my thoughts and feelings on filling up my cup, taking care of myself? What comes up for you? So yes, all right, so what chakra can we do to work this through? Dreams. So this is our crown chakra, so that's right up the top here. So if you get tingling there, you know, downloads or things happening and all that kind of stuff, and dreams. So again, going on those beliefs of rest and taking care of yourself, filling up your cup. You know, what are your dreams? What do you dream of? You know, what are, you know, even journal, like what are your ideal, what would be your ideal day? What would be your ideal way to rest? What are your ideal ways of filling up your cup? And then look at ways to make them reality. You know, this is really that energy that's coming through on this is really, it's time, you know, that moon, that darkness, that dream, it's that dream state. It's that time to get more into that relaxed. Rest and relax seem to be coming up a lot and filling up your cup. You know, taking time out. I feel like even in this card, the darkness of the night time, you know, spending time with yourself. How do you feel about spending time with yourself? And also too, with this card, I'm getting the message to, you know, connect with your spirit guides, connect with your spirit team, you know, call them in, ask for some guidance, ask for assistance. You know, if you're a gods or a goddess or, you know, whatever, you use whatever feels right and is in your belief system and whatever works for you, as long as it's harm to none. You know, really have a look at that. You know, really have a look at that. Really call that in, Really call that in and allow that help and support to work with you. Okay. And so, I love all the cards. Dream seeds. I nurture my dream seeds with love and appreciation and allow them to unfold in their own time. So with this, I'm getting the message too, how we talked about back with the shadow work, with the family and tribe ties and those conditioning seeds and all that sort of stuff, right? Over time, they've been nurtured. That's why they're still present. So really, it's time to plant some new seeds. It's time of rest and nurture and loving, kind thoughts and ways to take care of you. Because when you take care of you, then you can take care of things in your life so much better. It's so much easier. Yes, shit will still happen, but it's so much easier to come from a place of a full cup rather than an empty cup. And then empty cups lead to, oh, look at that big like leaf there, autumn crown. That's so cool. Anyway, so really nurture those new seeds, those new thoughts about resting and filling up your cup. And, you know, a big one for me actually that really helps me to do this is how can I be of, I don't know if service is the right word, but be of service and benefit and be there for my loved ones when I'm on empty. And I can't, I struggle, like especially with my health and having endometriosis. I only have so many spoons, and some days there's no spell break up with no spoons. So, you know, this really rang true to me that I want to be that loving, kind person for my husband, for my family, for my loved ones, for my clients, you know. I don't want to be that cranky person. So it's sort of like I really have to take care of myself and really check in with my body. And spoons are like an energy, how much energy stuff I have for the day. Really becoming more aware of them and listening to them and not letting my head go, yeah, it's fine, when my body's like, no, stop. So, you know, there's some seeds that I've been really planting, and it's hard to say no at times to things because I need to fill my cup up first. But it's less burnout, less flare-ups, and just it's a lot done with more ease. So there you go. So that was group 1. Let me know, how did that resonate with you? You know, was there anything that came up for you? You know, if you want to do it after you've listened to this reading, or come back at the end of the week to let us know how this week was for you, please do. I'd love to hear from you. And if you feel like these cards could, this message could benefit someone and help them on all that, please somehow get it to them, where you tag or you send them a link, copy a link to get this reading and that. So I hope you have a magical week, and you know, do check out our Facebook page, Autumn Crone, because we are doing some more live readings on there as well. So if you catch us when we are on the live, you know, we are doing mini readings on there so that you can grab one. All right, have a magical week, and I'll see you later. Bye. Hello and welcome to cards 2. So there are 4 cards in the reading. I haven't looked at them, so that's why they're sort of not in my eye shot yet. If you would like to know how these how I do these and what these cards represent to me, to the messages that I bring through, then do check out the introduction and that. So without further ado, let's get started. So the first card is Sacrifice. We've got the beautiful hummingbird here. I love hummingbirds. We don't get them in Australia here, but I would love to go somewhere one day and just to check the hummingbirds out. They are amazing. They're about love and longevity, and also overcoming hardship. Really, you know, the distance that they fly through, their change of seasons and all that kind of thing. And for the size of them, because they're really only like really tiny. If you didn't know what they could do and how far they flew, it's sort of deemed impossible that something like that little can do it. However, they do. So, you know, it's about overcoming those impossibles. And at times, sacrifice isn't, and I want to say with sacrifice, this is, and I'm getting goosebumps, so that's a bit of a confirmation for me. So sacrifice, this is not asking to sacrifice yourself in the way of it being detrimental to your health, detrimental to your mental health, and all that kind of thing. So this is asking to, yes, at times we have to sacrifice things or come to an agreement and all that kind of stuff. But this is not, this is asking you not to do it at the sake of your own well-being. So well-being isn't about perfect health. It's about just having wellness where you are. Like, so for example, I have endometriosis. There's no cure for it. Times you can go like into remissions, but there is no cure for it. So I'm never going to be at this stage of that perfect health. However, I can still have well-being and wellness and have a good quality of life where I'm at. Do you know what I mean? So that's what well-being is, and it isn't about reaching for something that is unattainable for some people, and you know, and at the end of the day, what is perfect health, because we're all different. So this card is asking about yeah, I feel like it's, even though it's saying sacrifice, it's like not sacrificing yourself. The things that even in the first card, it was about filling up your cup, and I feel this is the same. But this is also too about boundaries, making sure that, you know, there's some things that we can be swayed on. We don't mind being, you know, flexible in things, right? We can be flexible in certain beliefs and things and all that kind of stuff. But this is what this card is about, is not sacrificing your wellness, your well-being, where you're at. Like I know for me about having spoons and all that sort of stuff, I've had to become really consciously aware of the things I can and can't do with my body, and checking in with my body and finding out, can I really do this? And okay, like, so for example, if we're going to go out on the weekend, then you know, I need to look at what I'm doing on the Thursday, especially the Friday before. You know, I might need a bit more of a quiet day, a rest day, and all that sort of stuff. Because when I keep sacrificing myself and not resting and not listening to my body, then that's when I get really bad flare-ups. That's when I get really overwhelmed. I get very stressed out. I get angry and all that kind of stuff. So by taking notice of my body over time, I've become aware of, okay, you know what? Some things aren't worth sacrificing. At times, look, stuff just does happen and things just get overwhelming and all that sort of stuff, and I'm aware of it, and I'm like, okay, if I keep going, I know my recovery is going to be a lot longer. Can I move things around so I can rest, or, you know, do what I need to do to fill my cup up? You know what I mean? So it's really prioritizing things in the way. So like I have a guide list, I have a diary here, and it's sitting here open. What do I need to do on each day? Or it's not a to-do list. I don't like to-do lists. I don't like to be told what to do. My Aquarian rising has a bit of a rebellious streak. So I just call it a guide list, and I write things down. It's more because during perimenopause, you get so much more forgetful because of the hormonal fluctuations and that. So I write it down as a guide list to help me remember, not necessarily things I have to do or I should do, you know, or I need to do, and all that sort of stuff. So I can look at my list and go, okay, so what was I going to do today? Because I can get very, you know, away in the clouds, shiny object syndrome, and I get distracted with things. So having a guide list helps me to go look at it and go, okay, yeah, cool. And then I'll go, so how do I feel today? And what do I want to be doing on this list? And what can wait another day? Or, you know, all that kind of stuff. So they're my ways and some of my tools of ensuring that, you know, I'm not sacrificing all my spoons, all my health, all my energy on stuff, and then getting to the end of the day and going, oh shit, I really needed to get that done. I forgot about that. If I had known or remembered to get that done, then I would have got it done. So they're the things, by becoming more aware of myself and taking notice and putting things in place, it stops a lot of this self-sacrificing on needing to rest and my spoons and all that kind of stuff. So let's have a look at the shadow card, and it's love. So these are the shadows, things that are lurking in the unconscious. What's going on? What is so for this group 2 cards, this one is what the way that you sacrifice yourself, the way you give to everybody, to the point where it is detrimental to you, comes from this love thing, you know. But this is sort of thing, it's coming through, and it's, how do I explain that? We give, and I feel like this card is about giving, and you think and feel like you're doing the right thing, you know, making sure that either the kids, partner, parents, family members, loved ones, work, colleagues, you give, but it's feeling like it's not coming back in return, and it's getting tired and it's resentful. But what this card and these messages asking you is to, what about the love you give to yourself? You know, we tend to at times have expectations of other people making us happy, other people making us feel loved, and what other people do for us. And, you know, we have this expectation everybody else is supposed to do it, but it's bullshit. This is about, what about the love you give yourself? What do you do to take care of you? And this week, you've been really called to really take notice how loving and kind are to you. You know, look at your thoughts, you know. If you forget something or kick your toe, or, you know, how do you treat yourself? You know, what's your self-talk like, and all that kind of thing. So what it's saying is, the underlying message here is this deep-seated And when I say need and desire for love, we all have it. We're human. The messages are coming through. So with, and sometimes I have trouble explaining it. So that's why it's sort of like, oh. So that self-sacrificing where you give comes from that belief that by doing that, you know, you're being loving, you're giving, you're nurturing, very in that mother phase of that loving and nurturing other people, where it's career, fur babies, loved ones, or whatever. But it feels like your tank's getting very empty. Too much sacrificing of yourself. There's not enough filling your cup up. So have a look at those beliefs in the unconscious of, you know, what are your beliefs about self-love? What are your beliefs about filling your cup up? What are your beliefs about taking care of you? No, it is not selfish taking some time out each day, or, you know, it's during the week, or whenever your body needs it, filling up your cup. Right? Remember, the more you fill your cup up and you come from a place of cup, the better loving kindness, place of love that you come from, and be more present with those loved ones, be of service, I think just being more present in the moment is so much, you're giving so much more of your quality time, right? It's quality because you're present, you're aware, you're responding, you know, the energy's flowing between you and the other person in that communication. But when you're coming from a tired cup, generally you're thinking about, I cannot be bothered, God, I wish I'm tired, God, I can't deal with this at the minute, there's so much more, just add more shit on my plate and all that sort of stuff. So really and it comes from those deep beliefs from childhood of not taking care of yourself. And, you know, that sacrifice is a good thing. I'm sorry, dying early at a young age, you know, even in your 60s, 70s, it's still young, right? Sacrificing your health and your well-being and your wellness, that's not very healthy. Nobody can live another 10, 20 years, but you've just run yourself into such a ground and state that your health will suffer. You know, are you noticing some health suffering coming up? So this is really looking at those deep-seated beliefs of self-love and coming through some. And I love to journal, so I'm giving out journal prompts because I've known it, but science has proven the amazing benefits of journaling. So pardon me, some journaling question. When I think of self-love, this comes up for me. When I take time out for me, this comes up for me. When I think about self-love, I feel. When I see other people doing things of self-love, how I feel. Do you feel good? Are you like, oh, wow, that's good that they do that? Or are you like, oh, lucky bitch? You're like, oh, how does she get the time to do that? Have a look. Those are the things that are coming up. These are the things that we want to be looking at to shift that, so we come from a place of love and all that kind of stuff. All right, what chakra are we looking at today? What was the first one? Was that the... No, the other first one was crown. So this is your throat chakra and listening. Listen. So our throat chakra is here. You know, are you trying to communicate? You know, even communicate with yourself. What is your communication like with yourself? But what is your communication like with that self-love, with taking care of yourself, with filling your cup up? You know, how much are you self-sacrificing? You know, we can sacrifice part of ourselves, and we do, especially if you're a parent. But at the end of the day, you know, how much do we self-sacrifice? You know, that time just aimlessly scrolling on your phone, could it be doing something to fill your cup up? You know, really listening to your body. Are we listening to those messages of ourselves? Are we listening to those messages where, you know, where that self-love, filling up your cup, you know, taking care of you? There was a lot of self-care messages in the first cup. Seems to be a bit of a theme, which is generally always the case, I've noticed with these weekly readings. Something in the energies of this week, really being called to take care of yourself. I know in this month, mid-month, maybe the 30s, I'm not quite sure, Venus is going into retrograde. So you can normally feel, it doesn't mean like on that date that happens, you know, there's that build up. So feelings are going to be a bit more raw. People are going to be a bit more sensitive. It's more of a time of listening rather than talking, but also listening to yourself, listening to your body, right? So Mercury is going retrograde later in the month. So again, time is slowing down. But with Venus in retrograde, so really rawness, emotions, feelings. So maybe just keeping our mouth closed a little bit more and listening, active listening. Active listening. Active listening is where when someone's talking, we're listening to them, we're focusing on them. We're not sitting there and thinking of a response. So they're talking about blah, 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 but your mind's out somewhere else thinking about how you can respond to that, or, oh, I'm going to get them. How dare they say that about me? Blah, blah, blah. I've got to come back for that one. Well, when you're thinking about that, you're not active listening. So, really actively listening. And so our card for our little affirmation for this week is flowing. Oh, this is beautiful. Flowing my truth. Again, chakra, speaking from the truth, listening. Communication is actually not about listening. It's also looking at those, listening to your body. Those, what is it? Body language is the word I'm trying to find. So really looking at body language, but even listening to your own body language. How does your own body feel? When some people say things, take notice how your body responds or reacts. It does. It's quite interesting. So you get that jerky feeling. It's very interesting. Okay, so follow my truth. Believe in and follow my inner truth helps me to live an authentic and empowered life. Absolutely. Like, there's not even much more to say on that. So if you want to take it, pardon me, tickling my throat. I had a head cold and the cough is just lingering. So take a photo of that if you want to, and write it down. Set a reminder of those messages. I'm going to have a tickle coughing fit. So thank you, group 2. So let me know below, if you like, after listening to this, is this resonating now for this week, or come back at the end of the week. How did this pan out for you? It might not make sense at the start of the week, but it may at the end of the week. So, because that's the intention I put into it, or, even during the week, if you're going, oh, I'm feeling a bit icky or feeling a bit stuck, come back and listen to the reading and see if there's something there for you. And there's those journal prompts too, those journal prompts. Sorry, talking too much. Those journal prompts there, you'll be amazed at how journaling can, process things, give you clarity, give you insight, and stop being stuck in things and really clear out those shadows and all that sort of stuff. So let me know, how does this resonate with you? And if you feel like this reading could help somebody else, please pass that message on. Have a magical week. And also too, don't forget to visit us and check out our website, www.autumncrone.com, and also our Facebook page, Autumn Crone, because we are doing some live readings. There'll be some this week, and we've been trying to do some more. Alrighty, have a magical week. Bye. Hello and welcome to cards 3. If you haven't watched the introduction, I go through, because we have 4 cards. Oops, I don't like looking at them for them. 4 cards, so if you want to know a bit more about how I work with them and the way that I work with these cards, these card sets, I have a particular way. That's just how I've been drawn to them, and always follow your intuition. Take the messages that work for you, leave what doesn't. Not everything's going to resonate. Some may resonate, so take what works for you and leave what doesn't. Always follow your own intuition. You know you better than anybody else. Okay, so let's get started. So our first card is Spirit of the West. This one came up the other day, I think. Spirit of the West. So with this, it's I'm feeling, interesting enough, I'm going, is it wind or is it water? And I'm feeling a bit of a mixture here. So I feel like when I hear wind lately, and actually it's interesting, it has been windy here. Dave's been out at other places for his day job, and he'll say, oh, it's not windy where I've been, but wind, I'm just hearing a lot lately. I know there's a lot of things happening with our planets at the minute. We're in Leo season. We've got the Lion's Gate on the 8th. What else? We've got, I think Mercury goes into retrograde at the end of the month. And I'll talk more about that later. And we've got Venus coming into retrograde, so a lot of, and I think also too there's some connection with Venus. Astrology is a little side thing I love to learn, but while I'm studying counselling at the minute, not much of it's getting done. So, but I do love astrology. This amazing. And don't get me, I'll get sidetracked on that. So yeah, and Venus is connecting in some way with Lilith, Black Lilith. So, a lot of raw stuff, a lot of stuff coming out of the shadows. So I'm feeling like with this card is I'm also feeling the water. So there's going to be a lot of emotional stuff coming up, and you're being asked to really focus on working with those emotions, even those heavy ones, the ones that people call negative or bad. They're heavy, because at the end of the day, those negative or bad, or I like to call heavy feelings, have a purpose. You know, it's not all love and light. Shadows, we're human, but it's also to like having, the one I like to use an example is disgust. You know, when something's disgusting, like like for me, it's like, ugh, like my whole skin and body crawls, you know. So when you hear the word disgusting or disgust, or you say it, how does it feel in your body? Take notice of these feelings. It's so cool. But it's a horrible feeling. No one likes feeling disgusted. It, like for me, it's a very, like just a yucky, and it makes my whole body and skin crawl, and I don't like it. It's disgusting. It's like, ooh, get away, that kind of feeling for me. So, but the thing is, it's a yucky feeling or a heavy feeling or a bad feeling, a negative feeling, whatever you like to call it. However, it is good to have. Why? Because, like I say to the kids, if I left a meal in the fridge for, say, 6 months and it got some friends on it, some furry, fungy friends, right, that if I was to pull that out of the fridge and eat that, that would make me very sick. Like, it would really probably put me in hospital. I'd probably end up with a bad bout of food poisoning and God knows what else, right, and what it'd do to your body. It'd do lots of things, but let's not get into the nursing side of things. So the thing is, when I pull that out of the fridge and I look at it and go, oh my God, that's disgusting. God, get that out. All right, throw that in the bin. Throw the hole in it. Plate and all. Not even going to keep the plate, you know. That's disgust. That is a bit of survival. You know, that is my body and my feelings going, that is disgusting. Do not eat that. That is dangerous. Now, if we didn't have that disgust, and I looked at that and went, oh, wow, okay, cool, I'll eat that, I'm going to end up very sick. So some of those heavy, bad, negative emotions are messages. They are communication with us. So I feel like during this week, and things are going to get really raw, right? Venus is going into retrograde. I think it's around the 13th-ish, give or take. But that doesn't mean that, but there's a build up to it. Do you know what I mean? So are you starting to feel a bit sensitive, a bit raw? And I know I'm a little bit like, oh, I slept all right last night, but I'm feeling a bit sensitive on the irritation side, you know? So what's coming up? So with that, so taking notice of your emotions, taking notice of your feeling. Change is coming. Change is going to happen, and it's going to come up through your emotions and your feelings. Now, it'll be interesting to see what the other cards say, but it's going to be interesting to see how you go with it this week. So the more you resist it, because we are conditioned that way, push it down. Good girls don't get angry. Boys don't cry. You know, all that BS conditioning that's really detrimental to us. You know, stuff is going to come up. We need to let go of that stuff. We need to look at, okay, what's this communicating to me? Journal, you know, what's coming up for me? Journal, I'm feeling angry. I'm feeling disgusted. I'm feeling hurt. I'm feeling, you know what? I'm feeling like crap and I don't know why, but I'm feeling this in my body. I feel like it's anger. I don't know what it's coming from. And just let it all spill out. It doesn't have to make sense. It doesn't have to be legible. Just get it out. If you can afford therapy, go for it, absolutely. But this is a great way to start. Even if you're doing therapy, journaling is amazing. It has scientific benefits. I've talked about it all through all this reading, and I will always talk about it because it's just pick up a pen and paper. Writing is better, but hey, you know what? If you can only do it on a phone or texting, typing, that's the way that you love to do it, do that, as long as you're doing it right. So really, look, change is coming. So with this, that change is inevitable. Change is coming. However, how you work with your emotions and feelings that come up with that, if you stuff it down, it's going to resist, it's going to be harder. If you work through them, work with them, be curious about them. Why is this coming up? Why is this happening? You know, just be curious, not judgmental or critical. It's going to make it a lot easier to work through. So the shadow card for that is, whoa, self-sabotage. Ooh. Right, so what I'm here, so if you read the start about shadow, I love shadow work. I'm studying counselling. I'm in my last year to help with shadow work. I've never felt confident. I felt confident doing shadow work, but I know what shadow work can bring up. And I wanted tools and add tools to my toolkit to be able to work with them and support them more through the shadow stuff. So I'm loving it, and I can't wait to do more of this stuff. But anyway, so the shadow is by stuffing your emotions down and your feelings, right, with what you've been taught. And this isn't easy work, right? It takes practice. So journaling, therapy, talking to someone, finding ways to work with your emotions and your feelings as they come up, right, it's going to be hard. It's not easy. But what's harder is having those things play out in the background in our unconscious, right? And they keep playing out. You may not realize that shit's playing out every day. So what is harder is living the rest of your life with that shit playing in the background, and it's affecting every day of your present life. So by doing shadow work, we're helping to clear that, work out those things, move through them. You know, got to do the bear hump. We can't go over it, around it, or under. We've got to go through our emotions and feelings, right? So I'm feeling like the sabotage has come from those conditioning from childhood and all that kind of stuff, you know. So we're a society, you know, especially, you know, a lot of our English background and heritage here, a lot of that, you know, we don't talk about our feelings, don't talk about our emotions, straight face, you know, it's good to laugh and all that sort of stuff, but we don't cry, and we don't talk about our emotions and all that sort of stuff. So I'm feeling like this week it's going to be a lot of emotional stuff. You might find people around you and their emotions and that, but find out when people, especially if you've got kids, right? Kids are an amazing reflector of our shadow shit, I tell ya. Whew, in your face kind of stuff. So if you're noticing, if you've got kids or people around you, so if there's someone at this week that you're finding, whether they're talking about their emotions and you're like, oh my God, I wish I'd get over it. Doesn't mean you say it. Please don't. You know, because everyone's feelings are valid and important regardless, right? Or there's always exceptions to the rules, right? But if you're noticing a particular, not person, but a particular person that is displaying a certain emotion that is like grating on your nerves, and you're like, oh, I wish they'd go away. This is a key. Take notice. This is the universe saying, hey, this is a reflection. Where is this going on for you? Why is this coming up for you? Why don't you like this? And all that kind of stuff. Like, really be curious. Get into it. Sorry. Bloody head cold last week. It's cough's ringing around. So really look at what's going on, what's coming up, those deeper emotions. So when you push your emotions and feeling down, you are self-sabotaging yourself. You are causing yourself harm in some shape or form, right? Whether it's mentally, emotionally, it's along those lines, psychologically, and all that sort of stuff. So you are being asked this week to really listen to your emotions, listen to your feelings coming up, right? So if there's some things I feel like that are happening and you're like, why does this keep happening? Why isn't it, you know, that job or that friendship or that love interest, or why doesn't it get further? Why does this keep coming up? You know, same shit, different day. This is why this self-sabotage, those emotions that aren't being processed and feelings and all that sort of stuff. So that's going to be coming up. So what chakra are we going to be looking at? And the light here is change. So, oh, it's not supposed to rain. It's supposed to stop raining. I've got washing up bad. Anyway, good cleanse. Nothing we can do about it. The cat keeps peeing on our bed, the dirty little. So, working on that. Got to do some things today. Change it up. Got to change things. Can't keep doing the same thing and expecting a different outcome. Got to do something different thing. So, okay. So, we've got our, what is it? The soul chakra. So, it sits above there. So, really above. So, in this card, I'll show you, sorry. So, we're looking at angels and masters, sorry. So what I'm feeling for this one, what's really standing out are these chakras. So I'm feeling like really look into your chakras if you're not aware of them. They're energy centers into our body. And each energy center, there's hundreds on our body, but these are the main ones, connect to certain organs and all that sort of stuff. I mean, too much talking. Anyway, get connected with your chakras, so, you know, really look into it. So with this one, so we're looking at change, emotions. What I'm feeling is more of a grounding is needed. It feels like, because things are going to be so sensitive and all that sort of stuff, and really, you know, stuff up in your head and up in the sky and in the clouds and that, it's really important to bring that energy down, have some grounding time, have some bare feet on the earth. And what I'm also feeling like is to help process this stuff, that emotions and those feelings and stuff that are coming up, to look at them. So if things are coming up like for anger, right? So, and anger is not a bad feeling, okay? It's what we do. It's the actions that are taken when people feel angry that a lot of them are not acceptable. You know, taking your anger out, yelling at, screaming at someone, being abusive physically or mentally or emotionally, right? They are ways that people have got stored up anger, and they're not, unbeknown to them in their unconscious, they don't know how to in healthy ways to move through those emotions, right? So finding things like, if you're feeling angry, write a letter to the person. I'm really angry, you paid me off, you blah, 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 blah. And then safely burn that letter. Or, you know, grab a pillow, scream in the pillow, hit a pillow, you know, go for a walk or a run. What is it that is going to allow you to process those emotions and feel those emotions? Like, I know sometimes when I'm really fucking angry, oops, sorry, I swore. When I'm really, really angry, and to the point where it's like, you just like got so much anger and just so much, you know, something's happening, I'm really peeved off and annoyed and all that. Sometimes I'm like, I'll just say to Dave, can we go for a walk, just him and I? And I'm walking, and at the same time I'm like, this has annoyed me, this has pissed me off, and how dare they, blah, 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 blah. And as we're walking, and we've got a hilly area, so, you know, but what I'm doing is that pent up energy I'm using it, I'm moving it through. And I'm able to, with my husband Dave, to be able to talk to him, to be able to express those emotions, to be able to safely express them. And I know I'm not being judged, and it doesn't matter how crazy they are and all that sort of stuff, you know, I can express them. So I found some way to express that anger and move that through me rather than holding it in my body. So it's interesting how these cards come through and the message comes through. So finding healthy ways. So finding ways, you know, another way to, if I've got a bit of pent up energy, especially on that heaviness and agitation, frustration, resentment, all that sort of stuff, is, you know, like when I go pick up the kids from school, I'll put on some music and it's just me in the car, and I can turn it up and I will, well, I wouldn't call it singing, so to speak, but, you know, it helps, you know, maybe getting it out and really pelting it out. So really using that, you know, that throat chakra to express that anger. Even though I'm singing a song, but I have it up loud and I sing it loudly and probably a bit aggressively, you know, so that's another way to healthily process those emotions, those heavy, negative, bad emotions and all that sort of stuff. So, and each chakra does different. I don't know about this card. This card says it just feels about more ways of expressing those emotions in different ways for you and all that sort of stuff. So I hope that is helpful. So, and our last card is our affirmation card. So, you know, it helps to support these cards, this mini reading for you. And, you know, you can either take a photo of this card or you can write it out, and you've got a... I love these cards, how the cards all come through in messages, and having 4 total different decks. Okay, so your affirmation card is inner wakefulness. I am completely awake and tuned into my truth, clarity, and inner wisdom. And I can tell you now, by tuning into your emotions, you are getting more of your power back. You are, because when we're not, look, our society is great on the logic intelligence, the mental intelligence, but emotional intelligence is something that is really lacking. That has been lacking in society. So the more that you embrace your emotional intelligence, the more empowered you are. Less things get to you. You know, you're more in control of you. You can make decisions better for you. And I feel like this card is about that, is really going through this week. Emotions are going to be raw, things are going to, changes coming whether you like it or not, but how you work with or stuff down your emotions will have different resisting. It's going to persist, and it's going to be a shit week for you, sorry. But if you work through this and just even take notice of your emotions and all that, even just becoming aware of them and how they affect your body, is going to start this inner wakefulness. This, it says wakefulness, but it's awakening up. You know, if you're really wanting to, you know, getting more in tune with your intuition and your, I don't like the gifts, abilities and all that sort of stuff, this is the key. This is, if you're looking at ways to open up more intuitively, spiritually and all that, this is a huge key for you. And this is a huge, those emotions and all that sort of stuff. So I hope this helped. Let me know how it went. I try to keep these short, but the messages come through and then I get caught up. So if this has helped, whether let me know below when you've listened to it, or if and you want to wait till the end of the week and see if this resonated. Please let me know if you feel like this could help somebody and give them insight or anything like that. Please pass it on to them in some way, shape or form. And I look forward to, do connect with us on our Facebook page. We've been doing more live readings and putting up other mini readings as well. And bookings will be coming soon. So I'm just in the process of the admin of organising some personal readings. So anyway, have a magical week and I look forward to connecting with you later on. Bye.